Sometime last year, we drove the new generation Land Rover Defender. Regular viewers would remember the review, and in case you haven't watched it or you are new to the channel, you can click on the top right corner of your screen and watch the review right now. And also, if you are new to the channel, do me a favor, click on the subscribe button and don't forget to click on the bell icon so that you get notified every time we go live with a new video. Anyway, coming back to the Defender, we drove the SUV, we absolutely loved it. In fact, it is that good that it walked away with the Premium Car of the Year title by ICOTY. So then you might be wondering, what are we doing driving it once again? Well, in case the 90 in the suffix of the title of this video hasn't given it away yet, this is the shorter wheelbase version. So is it just fewer doors and fewer seats, or is there a lot more to it? Well, we're going to tell you exactly what the shorter wheelbase brings to the table and what it takes away from it in this video. At first glance, one might find the Defender 90's looks a bit oddball, more so if you've mostly only seen the 5-door Defender 110. I too had my reservations, but my opinion swiftly changed the moment I saw the Defender 90 in the flesh. There's certainly something very appealing about its 3-door silhouette, and for what it's worth, the 90 is likely to generate more intrigue and turn more heads than the 110. At 4,584mm long, the Defender 90 is 435mm shorter than the 110, and the relative deficit in wheelbase is the same as well. Aside from this very obvious difference, the rest of the SUV with its boxy lines infused with modern touches like LED lighting is identical to the 110. The Defender 90 is more than 2 meters wide and almost 2 meters tall with the air suspension, endowing it with immense road presence, dwarfing most other cars around you. The interiors, Land Rover has done a stellar job of marrying luxury with utilitarian touches. It doesn't just look and feel great inside, but the Defender also sets itself apart from most other luxury SUVs on sale. Grab handles at either end of the dashboard, exposed rivets and tactile feeling buttons that feel like they can withstand the test of time all help relay a feeling of robustness, while high quality leather draping parts of the dashboard and on the seats help keep the luxury quotient high. Everything in here has a sort of like a tactile feel. All these buttons are very hard-wearing plastics. They seem they can withstand the test of time, but they're also easy to use. And there's some very specific touches I really liked about the Defender. Starting with this central control for your aircon and your drive modes. So as you can see, there are 2 displays for your dual zone climate control, individual displays. If you want to change the fan settings, then this display doubles up as a display for the fan speed. And if you want to switch to a different drive mode, you can press this button and then you can use the same dial to navigate through all the drive modes on offer. So that's a neat touch. It can take a little while getting used to, especially the fan speed control, especially when you're on the move, but you know, it's a cool feature to have. Again, you get a nice touchscreen. It's very it's smooth, it responds really well. It has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay support, inbuilt navigation, all the works. Then you also get multiple camera views, in fact a lot of camera views. So you have a view that tells you exactly where your car is placed, what it's doing. So in case you're in a situation where you're off-roading, you can actually switch between these views and it'll tell you exactly what the terrain is around you. And you also get off-road specific views which tell you what is happening under the vehicle right below it. Right now the door is open, so it's grayed out, but once you get on the move, once you're in a situation where you want to see what's underneath, if you want to avoid a big rock or what have you when you're off-roading, you can always use these cameras to help make navigating this SUV a lot easier. And like I said, very utilitarian, very tactile buttons, and the steering wheel itself feels nice and you know, nice to hold, and good materials. This white looks really nice according to me. And once you look past the steering, then again there is just so much modernism in the way it's been styled with this fully digital instrument panel. It's configurable. You can switch the displays to a single dial, twin dials based on your liking. Other very interesting bits are this cubby hole. It's a huge space and it is cooled, so you can store your water or cold drinks or whatever you want to store in there, and you can get them to cool. The other thing is this rear view mirror. So if you look into it, most of your view is blocked by those massive headrests, and some of it is then blocked by the spare wheel which is mounted on the tailgate. So smart solution is you flick the switch and you get a camera feed in your rear view mirror. So you don't, if in case say you mounted your bicycles, if you're going out on an adventure and you know, your view is blocked in general, you have a camera mounted right on the roof in the shark fin antenna, and it sends a feed directly to your rear view mirror, so you get an unobstructed view of the rear. So aside from the fact that you have to put in some effort into climbing into the rear seat, because of course no rear doors, this rear seat space in the Land Rover Defender 90 is quite ample. This seat is adjusted to my driving position, and my height is 5'8" for reference, and I've got plenty of space for my legs to stretch out. There's plenty of knee room as well. The only issue I have in terms of seating is the fact that the seat squab is a little too short, so under thigh support is a little lacking, but aside from that, it's comfortable enough. It's roomy enough because of these large windows, these nice little windows over here, and the large panoramic sunroof, so it's quite spacious. You get USB-C charging ports, you get 12-volt sockets out here as well, and you get another USB port in the back of the front seat, and there is a handrest that pops down. So all in all, good enough space for two people to sit. But yeah, the seats of choice in the Land Rover Defender 90 specifically are the ones in the front. Land Rover is offering the Defender 90 with multiple engine options, both petrol and diesel. The one-way driving is the P300 variant, which comes with a 300 bhp 2-liter inline-4 engine, turbocharged of course. And don't be fooled by that cubic capacity, because despite the 2-liter size, this thing goes. This thing is actually really quick in a straight line. You just have to put your foot down and you'll know how quick it is, and it sounds actually really nice compared to the Defender 110. Because this is 200 kgs lighter, it is slightly quicker, but the difference is not that significant. But yeah, it is quicker, it is slightly more agile, slightly more nimble, and for driving around in the city or out on the highway, this is a really good car. It's very comfortable. The Defender just glides over imperfections and potholes and everything else that our roads throw at it. You won't even notice half the potholes when you're driving over them. And with the air suspension, you're always very comfortable in the car, and it adjusts right according to the conditions. So you never really have to, you know, watch out or be too careful of speed breakers like these. But this is a Land Rover and this is a Defender after all, and it just doesn't seem right driving it on the road, does it? Now that's more like it. This is what the Defender is meant to do, go off the road. And not just off the road, you can find trails around wherever you stay, and you can get off those trails as well, because that's how capable this Defender is. And at the start of the video I mentioned the short wheelbase and what it brings to the table. Well, what it does bring to the table is the fact that it is a shorter wheelbase version, so the ramp over angle is slightly better than the longer 5-door version, which gives it better off-road capabilities of course. And it is also 200 kilograms lighter, so it is lugging less weight around, so again, you know, it is just that much better off the road. But aside from that, as we've shown you in the Defender before, and as you will see on your screens right now, the Defender in its current generation stays true to the Land Rover name, the legendary name, the brand, and is just so good off the road. And it's just the sort of car that gives you the sort of feeling that, you know, you can take on the most difficult of terrains. Of course, you will need some skill. You can't do it without the skill that is required to tackle off-road terrains. You do have a lot of off-road aids. You have plenty of off-road modes. In fact, this is one of those cars which has just 2 regular city driving modes, but you know, a long list of off-road modes as we've shown you already. So yeah, this car is meant to go off the road, and that's exactly where it feels at home, where it feels at peace, where it feels like it truly belongs. And yeah, I've just actually been not even seeing these trails before. I'm just driving along as far as I can go, and even then I know for a fact that this Defender can go much further. That brings me to the point that this is still an expensive car. It is almost, I think, 90 lakhs on road. So no matter how capable the car gets, you would still want to be a little careful with it. I am being a little careful. That's why I'm not doing any of the things that you can see on the screens right now, the water wading tests and those hardcore off-road tests, which the good folks at Land Rover have already done. But yeah, this car is quite something. We like the way Land Rover has managed to fuse the utilitarian character of Defenders of yore with modern luxury and cutting-edge technology. The Defender 90 SE is about 5.5 lakhs cheaper than the 110 SE. While it loses out on 5-door practicality, the 90 is slightly more capable off the road thanks to its smaller size and shorter wheelbase. It's less cumbersome to handle in cramped spaces, and it somehow just seems cooler in this 3-door format, we think. That said, choosing between the two is for the buyers to decide. The Land Rover Defender is undeniably very desirable and works really well as a luxury SUV aside from being remarkably accomplished off the road. Do you have any thoughts on the Defender 90 or this video? Feel free to share them in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.